Everybody, and welcome to the 18th race of the season here at Road America. I'm here with Robbie Jackson up here in the booth, and we're here commentating this very wild card race with this front row. Edward Ziemba and Ryan Reed completing the front row. Cal Farrell and Ben Crouch third and fourth. Very weird top five starting row, but either way, we're going to get the racing here and see which one of them comes out on top. Green flag is out. Ryan Reed leads us to the green. Edward Ziemba is going to get a better jump, though. Going into turn one, James Ellison's already going to make it 3 wide down the inside. Corey Williams is going to get a better advantage out of it. Already making some audacious moves on lap 1, turn 1. And Ryan Reed just went wide. Cal Farrell down the inside. Just got the position away from him. The outside pole sitter already losing second place to Cal Farrell. Ben Crouch in fourth and James Ellison in fifth place. Already a pretty decent gap Ziemba's put on the rest of the field. Yeah,
he's pulled something like 8-10 car lengths on this battle for second here between the 2 and 24. They're getting all good and jumbled back behind this battle. Oh, he's off into the sand. He saves it, though.
Keeps it going into the gravel trap and still continuing to make a move down the inside of the 2 car, but it's going to turn into the outside because of the nature of this track. It's always a bunch of winding corners all over the place, and you can never really have the advantage. You just have to kind of get lucky with track position, and Cal Farrell keeps the track position ahead of the number 24. The one at James Ellison making his debut for CM Racing and doing a very good job so far. Running up here in the top 5 right behind Ben Crouch. Bradley Bishop Jr. also running really strong. Corey Williams right behind him, and Noah Hart. He's always really good here at these road courses, but not really the qualifying effort that he would have wanted to put in. Joseph Srigley going around the outside of Jack Porkins. He's going to try to make a dent in the championship hunt. And, ooh, it looked like there was some contact up here.
I couldn't tell from this angle, but they're bumping, grinding.
Yeah, the 45, I think, got a little bit loose off the back of the 10 car. He just got a really good run. And
yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. So it looks like it's already kind of spread out a bit on lap 2. A lap around here is about 2 minutes long. It's a very long race here with 25 laps, and
3 wide. Look at that. Back
3 wide.
3 in the 44.
The 44, 60, and the 3 going 3 wide down here on the back straightaway, I guess you call this. I don't even know what this is. I just know that there's a Sargento bridge, and the 60. Logan Cloud, I believe he's making a pass. Yeah, he's making a double pass on Scott Rash and Sean Angel. Angel trying to get the position back.
Oh, boy, 3 wide. This is going to be real hairy. It made it stick, though. They're 3 wide back behind him again, too.
Using the inside to his advantage. Sean Angel really sticking it down there. And Logan Cloud's going to get the run around the outside. Ooh, Scott Rash. Oh, someone's off in the dirt.
Oh, car off in the dirt.
I think that was Cole Baker, and the 60 is going to go ahead and make a move on him as well, taking advantage of him making a mistake. And, man, these guys are racing really, really hard.
Back on the inside, though.
Yeah, these guys are...
line through the carousel.
These guys are racing really, really hard already. Cole Baker looks like he's got a good car. He just made a little bit of a mistake. Trying to go down the inside of his teammate now, Tyler Black, but he just gets...
He's slowed quite a bit there. Not sure if he's just letting people go or if he's got a flat tire or something.
He got a terrible run out of that corner, and Cole Baker is just slipping down the order as of right now. Jack Halleck all over the back of Brandon Crasta. Whew. That was really close, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And so far, it looks like Ziemba's actually got a really good advantage, and we'll see how things play out in a couple of laps.
24. 3 wide for third, though, just about. Look at this.
Yeah, but we'll see how things play out in a couple laps with Ziemba, because he could just be running his tires too hard. As the 45 trying to make it 3 wide down the inside of the 2 and the 1. This should be easy pickings for him.
Contact.
should be easy pickings for Bradley Bishop Jr. Always running well. He had a chance to win at Darlington last week, and he didn't quite get it. Lost to Anthony Marchese, but still running really, really well here at Road America. Up in 3rd place, podium positions. And
How about we check on that 0 Kev Shearer, the points leader here?
Yeah, Shearer, he's running about 15th place. He just set his fastest lap last time by, steadily building momentum as the race goes on. He's always the kind of guy who he never qualifies that well, but he always gets through the race insanely consistently, ending up in the top 10, top 5 usually by the end of this thing. And yeah, he's, like I said, he's just not the best qualifier, so that's why he's back here in 15th place, and it's just kind of an uphill battle from here for Kev Shearer. But another person I want to talk about is second in points, Bobo Jones, if I can even find where he's at. He is all the way back in 30th place for Rodriguez Racing, and this is a terrible run for such a good car. And speaking of terrible runs for a good car, the 71 of RJ Bishop and the 43 of Tim Fiegel as well, having awful runs compared to where they normally do. I know it's a road course, but Bobo was up front at Watkins Glen, and he's still running pretty off here at Road America.
It sure seems like they missed the setup big time on that 9.
Oh yeah, same with the 71 and 43, and
so there's still plenty of time. It's only the 3rd lap.
yeah, like I said, you know, it's a pretty long lap around here, 2 minutes, and you can make up a lot of time in 1 lap, especially around here with how big this track is. This track's 4 miles long, and it does not slow down. You really don't have any slow corners, and when you do have to go into a heavy braking zone, it's usually a really intense downhill braking zone. So yeah, it's this track is pretty crazy.
There's almost a bit of a little touching with the 90 and the 05 there.
Yeah, and the 23 going down the inside of the 90. The 23 having a really good run actually right here. Ryan Dagby, he's normally in the truck series, getting a couple one-off opportunities with the S3 Motorsports team. They're trying to find their feet a little bit, and Ryan Dagby's picking up a little speed, but it looks like these guys are going 3 wide in the downhill corner.
So he's taking a peek, and I think he's just going to stay behind him for the moment, though.
Breeding, looking...
Oh, he's just right on the... Oh.
Looking like he wants to make a move. Breeding would probably like to be running a little better than 17th right now, but nevertheless, he still is in the hunt for probably a top 10 with the way these guys are racing. The 77 to Diego
Taking a wide
Yepes.
line.
Just going out into the gravel. A lot of these guys seeming to do that today. Just trying to get a grip of this track. I know a lot of these guys haven't been here before either, so it's this is going to be a hard race for some people.
Curve.
Yeah, especially since we have a couple of rookies. But speaking of rookies, Austin Miller, he's getting a really good grip of this track in the number 18 Traxxas Supra, as he's sticking it side by side with Breeding down there. This Flipside team's had a lot of good momentum lately, but I don't think this is exactly the top 10 runs that they've been hitting off lately, the top 5s. But this team is a pretty solid mid-pack team, it looks like, as of lately. Because you can see Will Goss as well running back here in 22nd. This is about their normal pace. The last couple of weeks they've gotten pretty lucky, but these guys have definitely been running out of their goal range the last couple of weeks. It's been a very nice swing of momentum for Flipside lately. And speaking of nice swings of momentum, Daniel Day getting that win a few races ago has certainly helped Texan Motorsports and the whole entire vibe of the team. The 24 is running in second, Daniel's running in 19th, but it's certainly better than what they started the season out with. Running towards the back and not really getting too much done. But now they are fighting up at the front for sure, as we're going to check back in on the 24. He's kind of closing in on the number 94, but the 45 and the 22 are looking very hungry, nipping at his heels back here.
That 22 needs the good run he's getting right now. If he can hold on to it, he's 3rd in points. He can make a good amount of points up on that 0.
Had an absolutely terrible run at Darlington. It was just abysmal. As speaking of abysmal, he's got a crazy amount of front end damage. I think that might hurt him a little bit, but he's keeping up pretty well as of right now. I'm not sure where that damage even came from.
I never even noticed it, to be honest. Kind of blends in with the black of the nose.
Yeah, the hood is buckled up a little bit if you look closely.
Just barely. I can see a little bit of daylight peeking under, but it doesn't seem to be hurting it too bad.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right. I think this car actually does have the speed to keep up. And the 94 is definitely having the speed to keep up here in the lead. Doing a very nice job for this Hydra team. These guys really don't get the opportunity to get up and go and win races. They're usually around the 10th to 15th spot on a really good day. But when they get to fight for wins like today, especially with Edward Ziemba, who's had a kind of mediocre few races lately, I think this is a really good thing for this team.
Let's see, we got real tight battle for second there. 45 going to make a move. 22 going to make a move too. They're going to be 3 wide heading into this first corner. This could get hairy.
Srigley going down the inside. He's trying to make it work, and he's
they made it stick. Wow.
Getting real close to the 45, the 24.
They're touching.
Someone's going to have to give. The 24 goes way wide. The 45 pushed him up there, but the 22 is going to make it out pretty good. And gains 2 spots on the 24 and the 45. And the 24, excuse me, is still under attack by Bradley Bishop Jr. Around the outside.
Lots of battles going on around the track here.
Around the outside, the 45 might go just because the 45 is so much better than this 24 car. But
he's the preferred line through here.
He's sticking it pretty well. Ooh, 24 actually getting a really good run through there, and I think he's actually going to keep the position going in here. Oh, wait, no. The 45 is going to actually have the track position because he's going to have the inside line into this corner. This is such a long corner. And the 45 is going to get it.
Yeah, plenty of battles going on around the track here as they're fanning out even still. There's a good battle right there. Looks to be the 10 car. Yeah, the 10 car, the 90. Kev Shearer, the 0 points lead, getting into the thick of it again.
These guys are getting pretty close to each other. The racing is staling out majority through the pack, besides right here, really. And the 77 all over the place behind the 20 and the 05. He's just trying to find any form of clean air that he can to get any sort of advantage on any of these guys. It's so hard to make a
They've got a huge train going here. Ooh, 3 wide, little contact.
It's so hard to make a complete pass without getting into somebody around here just because it's so close quarters. Even though it's such a big track, you have such a little amount of racing line to work with because the grip is basically non-existent around here. It is such a loose racetrack getting around Road America, and these guys making passes are going to be pinching each other and flying all over the track like you see the 77 going a bit wide, using every inch of the track like you just said. And these guys don't ever lift. They keep their foot in it when they have to make a move. So,
oh yeah, D-Day's going to make a move here in the 42 with Austin Miller trying a little bit of draft. It ain't going to be enough, though. It appears 77's going to have the preferred line getting down here into the corner. Makes it clean.
Yeah, he stayed ahead of him. No contact. It was a fairly clean pass. Kind of got it over on his nose a little bit early, but it was still a fairly clean pass. And yeah, so as the race stales out, we will catch up in a couple laps just to see where everything is at, because this race could completely turn on its head in a few laps. So we will be right back and go right through the field as soon as we do. Ziemba coming into the final few corners. This is around the pit stop window, actually. Instead of it being a couple laps, actually, we caught a pretty good time to take a break because the 94 is going to pull it down in here, and Srigley is going to follow suit. Same with the 45 and the rest of the top 5.
Front 5, front 6. Good chunk, everybody coming down for their pit stops. Got a couple staying out, Kev Shearer being one of them.
Yeah, Ryan Dagby, Kev Shearer, and Jacob Hart being the three staying out. These guys work very closely together throughout all three series, really. Whether it be Alliance or just them having mutual friends with each other, the S3 Flying Aces and CM Racing programs are always very close with each other. And these guys are definitely talked through a strategy before this race because they're all three out here in extra lap over everyone else. Cole Baker might have overheard those conversations. Same with Jake West, Scott Roush, and Tim Fiegel, and Aria Carmona. Carmona is interesting because her only win in the series is a strategy win from Cleveland. So I don't think you want her to be on an opposing strategy around a road course. It's giving me a little bit of deja vu, but I don't think she has that kind of track position or that kind of speed today. She was back in about 38th before the pit cycle, so that's a bit of a reach, but Ryan Dagby winning the race is also a bit of a reach. So him being out front, I mean, we still got to talk about it. So the 23, the 0, and the 05 were all running relatively well before the pit cycle even happened. So I'd imagine these guys are either going to get a really big advantage or these guys are going to lose a lot of time. I'm not really sure, though.
I'd say the only way to find out is have the check track position in relation to the 94 and others. Compare lap time, see how fast they are compared to these people who have stayed out.
Well, the 94 is a little bit closer to the 22. He's in free air, and the 45 actually. Whoa, the 45.
Oh, like had a great stop.
He was in about third place, and he jumped these guys.
He's got about a quarter of that straightaway gap on the 94 and 22.
He just completely jumped the first two cars. And I don't even know if he had gotten by Ryan Reed yet, so if anything, he jumped the top three. And he's pulled out an amazing lead, and this 45 has absolutely nailed it with the strategy. And, wow, I think this 94 team is probably a little bit confused as to how they lost so much time. Because they were racing the 22 on the track. They were expecting to be driving around these guys.
This cycles out. There's the second half of the field on pit road, which would probably include the top four at the moment of the previous lap. There, see Cole Baker among others. Yeah, all the previous top four coming in, just coming out.
Cole Baker beating Jacob Hart out of the pits. These guys are going to come out somewhere into the top 10, top 15 positions. I would say that's a job well done by these crews, getting them out there so quickly.
Great way to blend it. They'll have a lap fresher tires, which may make a little bit of a difference, but not too much on the long run, I don't believe.
Diego Yepes just made a great move down the inside of Cole Baker, regardless of cold tires. He was weaving in and out of traffic, and he just made a fantastic move. I wanted to highlight that. And Kev Shearer, the Zero team, just doing an amazing job at getting through the race. No cautions here at road courses, so they always have to think about the long run pace and just being able to get through traffic, and I think the Zero team is the best in this series at getting that done, but he just went a little bit wide there trying to follow Ryan Dagby. Dagby doing an absolutely fantastic job for S3 out here today, leading laps through a pit cycle nevertheless, but still probably running in the top 10 considering he's behind James Ellison and Jack Porkins, and Ellison was in 5th place before the pit cycle, so we will see where all of those guys come out when they cross the start-finish line, but Bradley Bishop Jr., we definitely know is going to be the leader when they cross it.
Oh, no doubt. He's pulled, if the telemetry ends up being correct on this coming lap, he's pulled something like a 4-second lead over the 94.
Pit crew and strategy definitely coming into play there with this 45. This AFRT team is fantastic in the Cup Series, and it does not shock me one bit that they are running so well here with Bradley Bishop Jr., considering he runs in the top 5 when he gets in this Cup car for AFRT on a part-time basis. He is definitely Cup ready. I said this last week. He needs to be in a Cup car. I will keep saying it until he ends up in one. And BBJ just immensely talented guy. He's been in the series for a while, and I think it's just about time he moves up. Because look at the performance he's putting on today. This is ridiculous.
4.2 second lead on that 94.
This is ridiculous that he's not up at the top level of the sport already, but regardless, we're getting to witness greatness here in the Hardees National Series.
See, as I look at the standings here, looks like the 23 who led the second group onto pit road is cycled back to 9th position. And see them, they're, like you said, they're going to cycle around upper or lower top 10, upper top 15.
Yeah, I believe Kev, I don't know if he just got, I think he got passed by Cal Farrell just now, because he was in 11th place, and now he's in 12th. Corey Williams making a couple passes as well. Actually, he's down at 13th. He got overtaken by 2 drivers, excuse me. And Brandon Crasta rounding out the top 10. He's having a great race here today for CM. Always kind of in the same category as his teammate Kev Shearer, getting through the field. A lot of these guys are really good at their racecraft. They're not too good in qualifying and will get beat by some of the more experienced drivers or just some part-time cars with Cup guys in it. Either way, they do kind of get slapped around in qualifying, but when it comes to the race, man, these guys know how to get through a pack.
Seems like half the... Oh, we got trouble here with the 3 of Scott Roush.
Scott Roush was into the tires or into the wall at some point. We're definitely going to have to check that out. He is out of the race. Very unfortunate for Scott Roush. Let's take a look at what just happened.
So as they come through Canada corner here, as we slow down the replay here, you see the 43 of Tim Fiegel all over the rear bumper of Roush. As they accelerate, I guess he probably spun the tires. Point is, there's contact right there. Just hooks him in the right rear, and then head on into the edge of that tire wall. Good thing it was there, otherwise it'd have been a hard lick on that concrete.
That was a really heavy lick from the 3 car, especially into those tires, but like you said, it is there to lighten that hit up from the possible concrete wall he would have went head on into.
So luckily, we're now here and he's fine. He got out of the car all right. He's just disgusted the way the 43 just flat dumped him.
And we're going to get an onboard and see what he saw going into that tire barrier in just a few moments. And that was a really hard hit for Scott Roush.
There's the aftermath as they tow him on the pit road there.
Full speed onboard going into the corner. He's not even going to see this coming.
And crunch into the tires.
Just like that, his day, it's done.
And in the meantime, during the crash, the 45 here has pulled quite the gap. 7.5 seconds over Edward Ziemba. 8 seconds over third place Joseph Srigley in the 22. And behind there, about a couple seconds, is the 24, Ryan Reed. Noah Hart in the 12. They're battling for, looks like, 4th position.
17 here is 6th place, just outside the top 5. Hannah Allen needed a pretty good run here today for Rodriguez Racing. So far, the strongest Rodriguez car. Would not have expected that today. But Hannah, nevertheless, putting in a good performance. And speaking of good performances, James Ellison showing out for CM Racing. Doing a very good job. He's raced for him in the Cup Series, and I don't know if he's raced for him in the Hardee Series. If he hasn't, this is his debut race for them, especially at a road course, and he's doing a very good job keeping up here in the top 10. Ryan Dagby, 9th place. Again, another standout performance by one of these guys. This is a brand new driver for this team, and Ryan Dagby is just trying to get his feet in the water for the Hardees National Series, and he's definitely doing a very good job doing that. He's a very good truck driver, and we know that. And so you see Brandon Crasta going down in the pits, just doing a very good job in the Hardees National Series. Corey Williams just keeping a mainstay in the top 10. He's not really too strong on these road courses on the regular. He'll be up there here and there. Bradley Bishop Jr., the leader, is just pitted. And, yeah.
He's going off cycle there.
And he's undercutting. I would have loved to go through the rest of the field, but Bishop just had to steal the show right there. And he's going to come out behind his teammate, Tim Fiegel, who's having a god-awful day.
Miller's going to get around him, too, there.
Yeah, Miller. Miller's lost a few spots since that pit
let's see-
cycle.
Let's see what that strategy does for Bishop. He cycles back to, looks like 28th position.
This is the first time we've seen the 37 in a race in a while, and he's running in 28th. I'm sure that team will take it after not really being there in the field. He doesn't really make it through pre-qualifying too much, Justin Johnson, but when he makes it through the field, he ends up, I guess, doing really well. This is the first time I've ever even seen him race, so pretty decent day for Justin Johnson. Peter Onjak made it through go or go home qualifying, running in 29th. I'm sure they'll take it over being in the garage. And speaking of going crazy, Shade Eves going into the dirt on the exit of that corner. Patrick Smith going way wide.
Look at that. Everybody's running wide. Will Goss just ran wide through the dirt, too.
Yeah, Will Goss back here, he's not having a very good day. He's usually very good at these road courses, but they missed the setup today for this number 19 car for sure. Tim Foster running back here, he's definitely not having a good day compared to the other runs that he has had recently. William Brock and Goss having a very good battle out here. I believe that
Will and Will show on the backstretch.
I believe that was a pass for 34th position, not 33rd, excuse me. And, yeah, there's not...
Oh, car off in the dirt there. Looks like it's the 2.
Cal Farrell coming back across the track, and he's going to get spun into the
contact!
pits.
We got trouble. 2 spins on the pit road. Saves it. Look at that.
What? That was really, really good car control by the 2 car. That was... Wow. I don't even know what just happened there. We have to go back and look at that for sure.
If he was going to spin anywhere, he would have spun right on the pit road. That was probably the best time spin I've seen in the Hardee series.
Very, very lucky Cal Farrell there, but we're going to have to go back and see what even caused that.
So they're racing hard here. Farrell and D-Day here in the 42. 42 just not cutting them a break whatsoever. Runs them off the track. Slides through the sand trap. Good thing he kept it gunning, otherwise he'd have gotten beached up in there. But here he comes emerging off onto the track. It's either that or hit the concrete wall. He did that. But in the process, he burst into the path of the 05, pulled a 360, barely missed the tire barrier, looped it onto pit road. Looks like he's going to get 4 tires out of that.
I think he did both of those things. I think he hit the concrete wall and hit the 05 and simply just looped it around. It was a very, very good display of car control to get it under control and get it straight. So the 2 car getting a new set of tires on that thing, I'm pretty sure. And they're going to take advantage of an undercut, but not exactly the way I think they would have wanted to do an undercut here today. Ziemba continues to take the lead back as Bishop cycled back through the field, getting a massive undercut. I hope the traffic doesn't slow him down too much because he had an amazing gap. And I believe that team was really just trying to get an even bigger advantage, but the 94 and the 22 are going to come right down the pits and capitalize on that, not try to let him gain too much time. And we'll see where these guys come out. The 24 coming down as well. 77's a lap car. And the 0 and 23 are going to continue on their same cycle from the last pit cycle. So
let's see what the 05 does, especially considering the spin.
Yeah, 05, he's going to
stay out too.
So the original 3 are going to continue on their strategy. The 45 is behind them. If it continues the way that I think it's going to go, Bishop is going to cycle as the leader. But we don't know how far ahead he's going to be. Is the 94 and 22. Ooh, the 22 just passed him coming off the pits. And the 45's gap is significantly smaller.
So that could get interesting right here once everything cycles through.
I believe the leader is the 24. No, it's the 23. I thought the 24 stayed out.
Kev's right on him too Kev's right on him too, right about a 10th or 2 behind.
Both of these guys doing a really good job getting through the field today. Kev didn't really have to make up that many spots starting 15th place, but either way he still had to make a charge, and that he did, and he is right behind the 23 right now. He is second on his cycle, so I would say that's pretty good. But if this gets him back into the top 10, he's going to have a massive tire advantage, because 1 lap around here is going to be enough to kill your tires a lot. And the 0 is definitely going to have a much better tire advantage considering his equipment and just the fact that it's a lap later tires. 2 lap later tires, I actually believe it would be the most of these guys because they pitted a bit earlier than they did last time, and these guys kept on the same cycle. So big strategy plays by the points leader. He's trying to get real close to the 23. It might be too little too late to even make a pass, but regardless, Shearer will make up any time he can because this is still a battle for track position. So
here they come on the pit road.
Yep, their cycle is ending right now. Cole Baker is also coming in.
There's Cole. I expect Fiegel and 10 car in front of them to come down. There they go. And here comes the 05 as well.
Yeah, 1605 and the 43 down pit road. And the 45 is up here in the lead. He's going to continue to keep his lead once it completely cycles because those guys crossed the start-finish line before he did. But the 45 is now your leader with about 10 laps to go. Joseph Srigley is trying to put a complete dent into that lead, and that they have, but I partially believe it was because of traffic. But these guys have way newer tires than Bradley Bishop does. I think Bishop undercut them by like 3 laps.
So that's going to make a real effect on the tires, whereas these are gripping like sandpaper. They're the 22 and the 94's tires are gripping like bubble gum, so they'll probably gain quite a bit of time on the 45 here.
17, I believe, challenging for a top 5 spot. Just going to go back through the field a little bit here. Wanted to check up on a couple of the midfield drivers. As Tib Foster actually gained quite a few spots. And the 11's on the 11's stuck on pit road.
Oh boy, let's see what happened here. He's way behind this stall.
There were a couple incidents during this pit stop period. The 11 was just the first one of those incidents. And it happens coming out of pit road. He just runs right into the 24.
He gets beached up here into the sand barrier trying to get going. He gets stopped. Tires start to dig in. He just gets trapped.
Stalled in the sand pit. We're going to go on board with the number 11 and see what he saw to see if he even knew the 24 was coming out of pit road. We'll go take a look at his onboard real quick. Coming into 1, and yeah, he definitely saw him. I'm not sure what this was, to be honest.
Surprised he didn't make any adjustments to his line, considering the 24 was slow exited the pit. Gotta wonder if that did any damage to the left rear tire or the crush panels or anything on that 24 car.
Possibly, but we will go look at the other incidents that we didn't catch on this lap as well.
All right, so the second incident that happened here is between the 19 of Will Goss and the 47 of Tib Foster. And much the same as the 3 there earlier in the race, same thing happens at Canada Corner. Crunches the tire barrier, kills the car. He's out of the race. Luckily, he's also all right.
A lot of really unhappy drivers in Canada Corner today, and the 19 is just adding to the list.
And nobody's happy in Canada, apparently. But, yeah, that killed Will's hope of decent. He was just trying to putt around and get something out of what little he could from today. All right, so exiting pit road here, this unusual incident occurred. Not sure how he got so far up. He rolled him over. Apparently Jack Halleck there in the 74 somehow gets on his side on pit road. As the 29 of Patrick Smith, I believe. There he goes. He's rolling again, hoodless. So, strange incident on pit road, to say the least.
I have no idea what that was. I am so lost, and I have no words.
Looked like straight out of Ghost Adventures. Looked like another car got stuck at the sand trap out there in the meantime. Might have been
that
11.
was the 11. Yep. In the meantime, 29 running with no hood. There's a whole lot of chaos that we didn't even get to because of the battle for the lead, but we'll take you back to it. It's really been a kind of a stalemate up here at the front. The 94 finally making a move on the 22 after being behind him for so long. I don't know if anyone's got anything for the 45. The 45's gap was cut down, but he's still keeping distance from everybody else. And the top three are absolutely gone from the rest of the field right now. As Noah Hart runs in 5th, Hannah Allen in P4. Really good run for them. Kev Shearer, P6. Jack Porkins getting around Ryan Reed. I don't know what happened to him. He shows he was in 7th last time by, but he didn't wreck or anything, I don't believe. No, he just made a pit stop. Okay, so Ryan Reed pitting a little early because there is a 3rd pit stop in the window here for some of these drivers and teams, but I'm not sure which ones are following that regime, but the 42 definitely is. The 23 moved up a spot, and same with the 44, and the 90 has entered the top 10 of Blaze McKinney. Corey Williams losing his top 10 spot from earlier to Blaze, and well, I think Corey's just happy to even be in this race with what's happened in the last couple of laps, because it has been absolutely insane around here. And James Ellison keeping up with the insanity. This very, I don't know whether to call him experienced or rookie driver, because I don't know what he even fits at this point. He's just a good driver. I'd say
battle hardened.
Yeah, he just he runs races, and when he runs races, he'll either do really good or really bad. And today he's doing really good. So James Ellison just doing a pretty good job out there. RJ Bishop has completely turned his race upside down from what it was earlier in 14th place. Doing a fantastic job. Diego Yepes has damage. Down here, he's a lap down, holding up.
He's getting in the way of these people here. This is about to get really interesting.
Breeding taking advantage. I believe he just moved up to the 15th spot, making contact
there.
He's made contact.
Not happy that the 77's in the way. But going to be an insane battle here with Breeding, Baker, and Krasta. Fiegel's going to get in on this too because of the 77 getting in the way.
Yeah, Fiegel's another one of those guys that have just kind of turned their race completely upside down, just like RJ Bishop. You may start to think, maybe this was part of a strategy to run in the back, because they've actually made up so many spots up in the 17th and 14th place, 13th for Bishop now actually. Oh wow, he is charging through the field. He is up into 11th spot right now, going for the top 10. Bishop is flying. And yeah, Jake West back here 19th place behind Daniel Day, and Logan Cloud rounding out the top 20. Austin Miller, the highest running flipside car, 21st position. Jacob Hart 22nd, doing a pretty good job for Flying Aces. I'm sure he'd like to be running a little better considering his experience and Jacob Hart's pedigree, but 22nd is not too bad for Road America. Someone just went off in the grass. I believe that was 42. William Brock, 23rd, and the battle for 24th went down between the 7 and the 37, and the 7 came out on top. Shade Eves in 26th, Julio Caesar 27th, Peter Onjack just made a pass for 28th, I believe. Ted Foster falling back to Eric Burton for 30th, Ross Jackson 31st. Ben Crouch, after starting in the 2nd row today, has not had a good run at it in the race, and he's down here in 32nd. Patrick Smith 33rd after having a car on top of him. Ryan Reed has pitted early, so he is back here in 34th. Aria Carmona is also behind him in 35th position with some damage, and Cal Farrell 36th, Bobo Jones 37th. These two did recently make a pit stop, so they are not actually back here just off pace. And that was the run through the field, and these guys are all into the pits now. Ooh, 45.
Ooh, 45. Wow. I think there's the 3rd pit stop we were talking about earlier. It's going to get out in front of Ziemba there. Going to pull a bit of a gap. 22 is going to have a gap still.
I don't know. I think Bishop's really got this one at this point. I don't know if these guys even have the pace to even get close to him, let alone make a pass. So, I don't know.
And now they're on even playing field tire-wise, so anything can happen, nonetheless.
Yeah, nobody undercut each other. They all just made pit stops at the same time. You know, I'm not sure. I don't know. The 88, though, he's having a problem.
He's slow.
88 having a tire failure, possibly running slow in the way of some of the leaders, using all the curbing and track to get out of the way. Very good job by Brock, but he's still going to interfere with Ziemba. You can't completely get out of the way if you're trying to stay on the track, and tough break for William Brock, but at least he's keeping out of the way here in this number 88. 45 is going to continue to keep leading here with 2 laps to go, and not much.
The gap is closing, though. 94 Ziemba just gained about 0.8 of a second, if not a full second, on that last lap.
Either way, not much is really happening around here at Road America. The positions in the top 5 and top 10 have been the exact same for 5 to 10 laps. And Nick Breeding is making a decent charge through field at least, so he's trying to shake things up a little bit in his number 20. Not exactly the run that he wanted to have after the consistent top 5 streak he was having, but nevertheless, I think he's just happy to be in the series running for Rodriguez Racing. The number 24 of Ryan Reed has had a very, very good run today. Could have had a lot better of a run starting on the front row, but the car is just not completely there for the number 24 yet, and I think that these guys have a long way to go before they can get to where that 45 is at. The 14 doing a pretty decent job. Like I said, road course is not really his thing most of the time, and he's the most experienced driver here. So, running well is exactly what Corey wants, and Brandon Cresta is following suit behind Corey. I don't think there's a better driver he could follow around here to learn this thing and to just get experience in laps. Because right now, Blaze McKinney is trying to hunt him down and make a charge for his 14th position, but while he's following Corey, I don't think that's going to happen. Daniel Day in 16th. He's had a pretty decent run at it today. Nowhere close to where his teammate has been all day today, but, you know, I think he'll take a 16th place today. I don't know if he's been to Road America for a long time, so the fact that he's even running here is a very, very good sign. Logan Cloud, 17th place. I would say this is a strong run. Speaking of strong runs, 18th for the 18, and Austin Miller just doing a very good job at keeping it clean out here his first time at Road America. Jake West, 19th position, for keeping it clean for Joseph Srigley, and rounding out the top 20 is going to be Shade Eves, making a pass on Jacob Hart for the 20th position. And Tyler Black trying to go down his inside. Eric Burton, I expected a lot more today, but honestly, from where he came from, never mind. I was just going to talk about where he came from. It's a very good run to be at 23rd, but he's pitted on the white flag lap, which reminds me to probably keep up with the leader who's taken the white flag, and Bradley Bishop Jr. is right here, but Ziemba is actually very close.
So he pulled about a second on that last lap, but if he's got about 5-6 more corners to get there, if even that. I mean, anything can still happen, but it's looking less and less likely as they go through each corner.
A career run for sure for Edward Ziemba out here today, doing a really, really good job here at Road America, trying to run down Bradley Bishop Jr. as much as he can. Even if he can't get the win, he'd like to be as close as he can in case the 45 makes a mistake somewhere. You can always lock up or even blow up around a road course. You never know. But I think the 45 is looking very quick and very smooth around here.
Yeah, this might be his last shot up here coming through Canada corner. Heavy braking zone, 94. He's going to send it quite a bit. Look at that. Probably gained a couple tenths right there. Still might not be enough as they come up through these last few S's. Bradley Bishop Jr., car 45. Coming through this last corner.
Through the final corners in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Bradley Bishop Jr. He's going to come up this long front straightaway. We're going to wait for him to go uphill to even say anything.
Checkered flag is in the air.
Yep, checkered flag in the air, and Bradley Bishop Jr. is going to win here at Road America. Edward Ziemba second, and Joseph Srigley rounding out the podium positions. There's Hannah Allen, Noah Hart, and Kev Shearer in 4th, 5th, and 6th place. Ryan Dagby, we got to wait a little bit for him to come across the line, but him and Jack Porkins are going to come across in 7th and 8th. Cole Baker having a very strong run in 9th, and Tim Fiegel rounding out the top 10 positions. Just going to let everyone cross the line here. Going to go through the order up on the ticker this time instead of just reading it or letting it scroll down the screen. Letting everyone see where everybody crosses the line at. And Jacob Hart rounded out top 20. I think some of these guys did pit, so we're going to see this ticker update quite a bit. The 20 actually finished 20th, and we'll see it change from there. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. It wasn't a very action-packed race per se. There was a couple wrecks, but the battle for the lead was pretty much finished as soon as the 45 took the lead. So I would say that it was just a dominant performance out there from BBJ today. Yes, they're just all crossing the line. They're 37, losing a lot of spots. The one car having to pit very, very late in that race, losing out on all that time he would have gained today just because he didn't have the fuel. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the race. And yeah, Robbie here helped me out today. I just really wanted to get this thing in, and we definitely did, and Bradley Bishop Jr. did definitely win today. So I will see you guys in a couple weeks at Texas World. We're going to have an off week next week, but nevertheless, we are going to still race at Texas World, and until then, I will see you guys there. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. Goodbye.